I should say that again. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video, guys. Glad to be here. Good to be here. We got some things to talk about today, and go ahead and get to it. Let me turn the volume down, guys. As you come in, let me know that you can hear me, and if you can tell me also as you come in, guys, where you're from. Just let me know where you're from, and if you can hear me, and we can get this thing going. We're on several places, so welcome to Smart Money Bro on Facebook. Welcome in from LinkedIn. Welcome in from Twitter, X, welcome in from IG, welcome in obviously on YouTube, guys. We're here. Glad to be here. Looking forward to this conversation because it's a really, really important one. All right. So as you come in, let me know where you're coming from. Carissa's from Sacramento. Good to have you. Miss V already in here. She got VTI. Hey, everybody. Hey, Art of Wars in the house. Good to have you from Ohio State, the state of Ohio. And then we got John Joe. My guys here. Good to have you. And, Buy the Book is here from Southern Cal. Richmond, Virginia is in the house. New York City is in the house. Not sure what borough you're in. Houston's in the house. Good to have you. Wichita is here. Good to have you. KC is in the house. San Diego, California. Beautiful San Diego. Tulsa, Oklahoma's in the house. Spokane, Washington. So we got folks from all over the country, literally. Tune in to hear this information about this breaking news about NVIDIA. Nvidia stock keeps going up. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, by the way. Take those off. Let me know that you can hear me okay and my voice is coming through okay. But Nvidia is just going crazy. North Carolina's in here. Brandon, good to have you. Manny Man from B More, Baltimore, Park Heights, maybe? No, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Missouri X Music is here. Chile is here. Good to have you from Chile. That's Chile, actually. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Glad you can hear me. Let me take that off the screen real quick. Bam. Please hit the thumbs up when you come in. Share the link to somebody who you know might be interested in investing. We're going to look at my screen today, guys. We're going to look at the screen a little bit and talk about NVIDIA. What's happening with NVIDIA? I should say NVIDIA, right? I get in the habit of saying NVIDIA, but it's actually NVIDIA. So let's have this conversation. All right. Warren Buffett, chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, shared some timeless wisdom with us all about, I don't know, what's that, 15 years ago. 15 years ago. He said roughly, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful in terms of investing in the stock market. So my question to you with Nvidia right now is, are people being greedy or are people being fearful? Because if you can follow Buffett's advice about being greedy, I'm sorry, being fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, what are we doing right now with Nvidia? Right? Are people being greedy with Nvidia, going out and getting it? Or are people being a little more reserved and a little scared, a little nervous about what's happening with Nvidia? Right? That's the question. If panic has not set in, then it may not be time to be greedy. If greed has not set in, then it may not be time to be fearful. So, the question I keep getting all the time, get a lot of these questions almost every day, every other day, every day. People are saying, "Should I buy Nvidia right now before the stock split, or should I buy Nvidia after the stock split?" And I'm also hearing from a lot of people that say, "I'm not buying Nvidia at all. I'm just gonna continue to own it in a broad-based ETF like I have been doing or an index fund. I'm just gonna continue to own it in the S&P 500 like I always do, where I think Nvidia is probably, what, 7% of the 5% of the S&P 500 right now on that weighted index. So, what are you gonna do? Let me know in the chat here on YouTube or Facebook, where we're at. Let me know what you're going to do. If you're going to go out and buy Nvidia or you've been buying it ahead of the stock split, right? And we'll talk about kind of what a stock split is for somebody that don't know. But Are you gonna buy it before the 10-to-1 stock split that was announced last week, and it's gonna happen the morning of June 10th, June 10th? Or are you holding what you already got? Or are you gonna dollar cost average into your ETF like you always have been doing that holds some Nvidia? Or are you saying, "Hey, I don't know much about Nvidia, so I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not interested in investing in an Nvidia." Let me know your position in the chat, guys. Let's see here. Somebody said, greedy. Yeah, let's see here. Hello from New York City. Good to have you, Arliss. Not chasing the gain. Been there, done that, John Joe said. Namisha, it will likely continue to go up regardless of split. I think you're right, Namisha. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Let's see. I have 2 shares already. Doesn't matter if you buy now or after split. If you get a 10 shares after that, it'll be the same price. True, Craig. Absolutely. Bought before and will continue to buy. All right. Good, Myra. Somebody says dollar cost averaging. Would you purchase NBDU? Hey, smart money bro in chat. Sunset on the ocean. Good to have you here. Full disclosure. This is not investment advice. This is only investment information. Hey, from Philadelphia, good to have you. And Kathy checking in from Arizona. Glad to have you and your support, Kathy. Rory's from Philly. This is what I'm talking about on this video is 1000% my opinion. Let's talk about real quick what a stock split is so we're clear on that. And I want you to be able to think about some things. So I want to clear the air on exactly what a stock split is, right? Why a company like Nvidia is doing a stock split in the first place because it stock splits happen all the time, guys. There were stock splits today. There'll be stock splits tomorrow from different corporate companies, right? But we want to talk about how do stocks normally behave before and after a stock split when it's announced. How do a stock normally behave after a split? And then maybe there's some other companies that are going to be doing some stock splits as well that you may be considering, right? And I'll be peeping out the chat as I have this conversation, guys. That's what I always do is look at the chat, see what's talking. L Drum from Ohio, good to have you. If you can't afford one share now, definitely get one after the split. Um, why not Nvidia at 10-to-1 split instead of the current price? Is there an advantage at buying at this price? Not necessarily, but it may be. So let's talk about that, Robert. Why a stock split? It does like somebody just said, it does not change the value of the company. It doesn't change the value of the shares that you own and hold. It doesn't change any of that, right? Keep in mind that a stock split is just cosmetic, right? It's all academic at this point. I used to watch a lot of basketball, and there'd be one announcer. I don't know who it was, but when the team is up by 20 points with 1 minute left in the game, it's all academic. In other words, it don't really matter. Nvidia's stock is the split stock split is the same thing. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change any of the values. It may change perception, investor sentiment, right? But that's it. It's just where a stock split is where a company simply takes and divides its existing shares into multiple new shares. You could have a 2-to-1 split. You could have a 4-to-1 split, a 10-to-1 split. You can have a 50-to-1 split, right? Just means a 10-to-1 split just means you own 1 share, now you own 10. Despite the increase in the number of shares, total value of those shares don't change because it's a split. There's no value added. They're just increasing the number of outstanding shares. It's it's kinda like this, guys. Blank piece of paper, right? If I split the paper in half, I just did a 2-to-1 split. A 2-to-1 split, I still got the same amount of paper in my hand. I could split the paper 10 times, which is what NVIDIA is doing. They took a piece of paper, split it 10 times, and then handed it right back to you. And now you still only have one piece of paper. Same concept with a stock split, right? I kind of needed that paper. Shouldn't have tore that. But companies are that's all they're doing. So, couple of key points to a stock split so we're all straight, right? It increases the number of shares, yes. The price of each share is just adjusted so the total market cap remains the same, right? Again, zero change in your shareholder equity. So some people are saying, should I buy now? Should I buy after June 10th, after the stock split? That's a personal decision based on what's happening. And based on what's happening today, Nvidia went up again. What did it close at? 4 or 5? It closed at I'm gonna tell you exactly what it closed at. Today it closed at 1140, 1140 and 59 cents. Okay. Set a record, highest it's ever closed. Right? Highest it's ever closed. Crazy. Crazy. Let me tell you how crazy that is, okay? On May 22nd, exactly 6 days ago, Nvidia was trading for $933. May 22nd, it was trading for $933. Today is trading at 1140. That's $210 in 6 days. Now, I don't know how long you've been investing in the stock market, guys, but that is an amazing increase in a stock's value over the course of 6 days. That's almost unheard of, right? But that's what's happened to it because of all of this. I think it's some of this talk, right? Here's why Nvidia or any other company wants to do a stock split, so you know. Increases their liquidity, right? By increasing the amount of shares that are outstanding out there, they go from 1 to 10, right? And reducing the price per share, the stock always becomes more affordable for more people to purchase. And if something is more affordable for more people to purchase, what usually happens to that? People start purchasing. That's the thought process of Nvidia or any other country that wants to split a stock. Increases the amount of trades that are made on the stock, right? Makes it easier for investors to buy and sell $100 stock as opposed to $1,000 stock, and it just attracts and brings in more people. Lower stock price. If I told you today, Nvidia, although you can buy fractional shares, if I told you Nvidia is trading at $1,000 per share, you say, "Wow, woo, that's pretty expensive, right? Man, I don't know if I could do that." Psychologically, that's what you think, right? But if I told you Nvidia is trading at $100 per share, you're like, "Oh man, I can get some of that." Psychologically, it just changes the way you look at it, and that they do that so they attract more investors. It broadens the retail investor base, right? They don't have to do that for Sally Mae or for, American Family Insurance to buy. They don't have to for these big institutional investors. They don't have to do that. But for me, as retail investors, they want to attract you, so they lower that price. It makes it look more affordable, right? Even though it remains the same, it's a psychological thing. It also keeps the stock more marketable, right? When stocks become too high, they become less attractive. I'll talk about, Chipotle. How many of you own some Chipotle? You know, the place where you eat the burritos and stuff, and you walk by and they give you, "Let me get extra beans on that. Let me get, lots of brown rice on that. Let me get, some of the fajitas." Okay, Chipotle's trading at over 31, I think 31, $3,200 per share. Now, who's buying a share of Chipotle at over $3,000 per share? Not many people. And I'll talk about, by the way, Chipotle is doing a 50-to-1 split. We'll talk about that later. But the other thing with a stock, why they want to split the stock up is because they want to be more competitive with their competitors, right? If a company has peers with lower price shares, they want to be competitive with that. For example, as we talked about, what's the one? Yum. Anybody ever heard of Yum Foods? Yum brand, YUM. Yum. Yum owns like KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. I think. Right. Yum trades at about 135, $136 per share. Well, that's Chipotle's competitor. McDonald's is trading at about $250 per share. McDonald's and Yum are Chipotle's competitors, but Chipotle is trading at $3,000 per share. So, what a company like Chipotle or like Nvidia will do is they'll split the stock so they can be more in line with the other people of the other companies that are in their industry, right? So, like I said, Chipotle, by the way, if you didn't know this, I'm gonna show you a few others that are doing a stock split soon also later on. Chipotle is doing a 50-to-1 stock split, which is one of the largest in the history of the New York Stock Exchange coming up. But it has to be voted on, I think, June 6th or 7th by shareholders. If they vote for it, I think the end of June, Chipotle is gonna split and do a 50-to-1 split. So I just bring up Chipotle because a lot of us know about it. And Nvidia is not the only company that's doing a stock split, right? So should you buy Nvidia now or after the split? That's the question. Or should you not buy Nvidia at all and just hold your position or hold on to your ETF or index fund that has Nvidia in the bucket, right? Quick commercial break. My partner on this video is Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile. Sponsored, not sponsored, but my premium wireless service for an inexpensive price. You don't have to pay more, right? Those days are over. You can keep your phone number. Takes about 15 minutes to sign up. No stores, very little overhead. They pass that cost savings on to me and you. I've been a satisfied customer for about 6 or 7 months on Mint Mobile. Solid place. Also StreamYard, guys. Brought to you today by StreamYard. StreamYard is by far, no joke, by far the easiest to use platform that I've ever used on the internet. A 5th grader could use I don't know if you guys have ever used StreamYard. A 5th grader can use it. Some of you can vouch for me. I mean, it's just, like, extremely easy to use. So, are you gonna buy stock split? Oh, by the way, hit the thumbs up. Smash the like for me, guys. You gotta hit that like for me because that pushes us out to more and more people, and we want more and more people to get this common sense, sort of basic, same time important, detailed look and talk about whether or not you should buy before the split, after the split, or don't buy at all. So please hit the thumbs up button. We should have a 300 likes by now. Hit that thumbs up button for me if you can, please. I really would appreciate it. So understand there could be right now, guys, and this is really important. If you look across the news, the internet, wherever, what they call irrational exuberance, or I think what we call nowadays FOMO, fear of missing out, right? This whole fear of missing out may be why we see Nvidia going up the way it's going up. Very well could be why we see it going up the way it's going up. And I like to present my screen, guys. You guys know I'm learning how to share my screen, so I like to share the screen sometime. So let me just show you Nvidia, Nvidia. Bear with me, okay? I always slip back and forth. Nvidia today. Okay, just giving you an idea of what I just said. 1,140 and 59 cents. And as I said back on May 23rd, 22nd, I'm showing my screen right now, guys. May 22nd, bam, that thing was down to $933. And it's just boom, had a little lull. But when did they announce the split? I think that was what, May 24th, something like that, May 23rd. Look what's happened to it since the split was announced. And it took a big jump today, right? Now you look at year to date. I'm let's actually go 1 year out. 1 year ago, this time last year, Nvidia was $401 per share. It's almost tripled its share price in 1 year. Some of you who've been around a long time, you know how strange this is, right? And some of you who've been around for a long time, you might be getting a little nervous because you're saying this is not normal, right? But it's happening, right? And there might be some of you in here that bought back when Nvidia was $200 per share. $150 per share, $20 per share, right? But it's making a lot of people rich. This is the 5-year right here. Just want to show you that. All right. So, so let me just also show you this. I'm gonna show you this too to give you to just kind of let you hone in on what I'm saying here. Nvidia actually what they called it popped today. Not burst like as in a bubble, but popped as in went crazy today, as you just saw a second ago. Just gonna show you a quick article real quick. Talks about what happened to Nvidia today. And why Nvidia popped on Tuesday, right? Elon Musk unintentionally gave the chip maker a boost, gave Nvidia a boost. Shares of Nvidia surged higher today, jumping as much as 5.6% as of around noon or so. The catalyst that sent the chip maker and artificial AI specialist higher was word that another AI startup, they say another, Nvidia is not really a startup, but they say that the other one had raised it gave an indication that it had raised billions of dollars, which is good news for Nvidia. XAI, Elon Musk, XAI, the AI startup founded by Musk, announced Sunday, a couple of days ago, it had raised 6 billion in its latest funding round. The company said in a blog post that the influx of cash would be used to take AI XAI's first products to market, build advanced infrastructure, and accelerate the research and development of future technologies. The company, which was founded last July by Elon Musk, is the creator of Grok, the generative AI chatbot that competes with OpenAI's GPT. So, what does all this have to do with NVIDIA? It's a signal that there's still plenty of appetite for continued investment in AI. Let me say this, guys. My personal opinion is AI is not going anywhere. I think AI is right now what the internet was 25 years ago. It's just getting started. Investors have worried that the demand for AI could fall off, but this helps illustrate that it's not the case. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but that's some of the things that we see with NVIDIA. All of the big players, by the way, if you own the S&P 500, 33% of the S&P 500 is technology. And most of that technology has is a customer to NVIDIA. And that's why we see NVIDIA growing at the speed it's growing, because its customers are Apple, its customers are Microsoft, its customer are all these big behemoths, these big giants, right? Let's see here. Let me see if this one's up. And if you're not on YouTube, feel free to go over to YouTube, guys, because I kind of like to share my screen quite sometimes to just kind of illustrate some things that I'm talking about. So this one, here's another one right here that I just shared my screen with. Nvidia stock just set a new record high. What's going on? Shares of the tech giant continue to defy gravity by soaring to record highs. Tesla CEO Elon Musk. This is another article talking about the semiconductor firm is going to supply his AI startup called XAI. Um, and then it says Nvidia stock may also be rising on speculation related to its stock split. Now that goes back to what I was saying earlier. This article goes on to talk about some of its customers and so forth. I'm not going to read the whole article, but just want to point out that there's several articles out there today that are saying this. So this is what happens. There's a lot of exuberance around it, a lot of buzz around it, and when buzz around it happens, it can push the stock price higher. Right? Something for you to think about. If you're wondering, should you invest in Nvidia now before the stock split or after the stock split, you got to also keep this in mind. Typically, okay, movement of stocks up and down is gonna be slower than it is right now. I just pointed out to you how in the last 6 days, Nvidia stock price has gone up, what, $200, right? Well, when they do the split and the stock price is $100, you're not gonna see those large fluctuations like that. You might see $100 to $105, $100 to 110. You're not gonna see $200 worth of growth in 6 days. I mean, we gotta keep that in mind, right? So you won't be making that much money if you own the stock, when the stock price goes down after the split. There's not gonna be these big swings in the stock price that we're seeing on a regular basis with, NVIDIA right now. And this is also something you gotta think about. If you're thinking about should you invest now or after the split, after a stock splits, typically, guys, there may be some initial drop off, right? After a stock splits, there's sometimes this anticlimactic slight drop off. So you may be if you're considering not investing just yet, you may actually right around the 11th, the 12th of June, a day or 2 after, you might consider strongly paying close attention at that point if you're thinking about buying a share of stock. Let's see. Hey, good to have you guys. I can barely see, so I'm looking all over the place. Okay, so keep that in mind, okay? That may signal a time to buy just after the split when there's sometimes this sort of anticlimactic drop in a split. It could be $5, could be $2, could be $40, right? But that happens sometimes when you see a stock split. And you could just wait to see what happens, right? See what happens a day or 2 after the stock split and then make a decision. Or you can play the game right now, so to speak, and get into it right now as we build up to the stock split, which it's a little bit there's risk in all the things we're talking about, but waiting a day or 2 won't hurt you that much. If you look at most of the analysts, they are saying that this is just the beginning for them. And then when you look at and this is what I always caution you guys to make sure you do when you're trying to buy individual stocks, you gotta go read the information on the company's website, their earnings, their projections, their business model, their industry, their assets, their holdings, um, what they're looking to do, who they're supplying to, who their customers are, what technology or what industry they're in. And the beauty about NVIDIA is there are a lot of places, semiconductors, chips. I mean, they do a lot of gaming, right? And gaming is huge, right? They do, and then they're on the cutting edge of A. And there's other companies out there that are doing AI, but there's not a lot of companies doing AI that been around 30 years like NVIDIA, right? There's not a lot of AI companies that have been around. So AI companies that are the competitor to NVIDIA, they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 years behind in terms of what NVIDIA is doing. And that's also another reason why there's so much um, enjoyment, so to speak, out of investors who are investing in NVIDIA, right? Because they know that NVIDIA's capabilities are several years ahead of any competitor, right? But just remember, when the stock split happens, things are gonna move a little slower. We're not gonna see these huge gains in 1 or 2 days, right? So, something to think about. If you let me go back to the chat because I haven't been in the chat in a while, guys. Buy and hold for a long time, similar to buy on rumor and sell on the news. Buy and hold. Say, got it. Okay, best of okay, good, good, good. Indeed. I don't think you okay, boom, boom, boom. What did Felix say? I missed what he said. My fault, Felix. Yeah, somebody mentioned Amazon did a split. I think somebody mentioned Walmart did a split too, not long ago. Do you think they will ever increase dividend payouts after the split? I don't necessarily think so. I don't think that's been the business model for NVIDIA is to increase dividends. I just don't see that. Don't get me I don't know, but I think They put a lot of their money as opposed to giving money a lot of money back to shareholders, they put a lot of money of their money back into the business, and because they're growing so heavily, they don't need to attract people with high dividends, right? They don't need that. They don't have to play that side of the coin. Nvidia just doesn't do that. So I don't necessarily think they're gonna be increasing the, dividends in any significant way anytime soon, we really don't. So, uh, mommy traders in the house, good to have you, mommy traders. Just I have 5 shares at 476, fantastic, good position. You're about to have 50 shares at 100 or 150, whatever they are by the time they split. Very good. Guys, check out Mommy Trader here on YouTube as well. Netflix drop around this drop last year around this price area, I think is what they're saying. Somebody said buy after the split. Things to think about. If you buy before the split, you gotta understand what's happening right now is not anything new. When I say new, I mean typically as you go up to a split, a lot of times companies and corporations, they do kinda rise as you get closer to the split, right? So, just keep that in mind. If you buy before the split, you might benefit from this increase, right? If you say, "Imma wait until mid-June, July before I jump in, let all this stuff die down," okay, and you don't buy right now, you may miss some of that increase. Remember, the split doesn't give you no any more or any less. But what happens to the stock leading up may increase that stock. There's a lot of positive sentiment around the stock right now because of the anticipated stock split and how it's going up. So everybody's real positive, real bullish on it right now, right? That's driving the price up right now as well, right? But after if you decide, "I'm gonna wait, I don't wanna be involved with all this frenzy, I'm gonna hold off." Shares are gonna be cheaper, obviously. If this thing let's say this thing ends up at 1,200 and they're doing a 10 for 1 stock split, means the stock's gonna go to 120 per share, $120 per share. Cheaper, right? More accessible in the minds of people to a broader range of investors, retail investors. More affordability. Yay! I can afford it. That could push demand up after the split, okay? So, those are things that could push it up after the split. Some investors prefer listen, some investors, they like the sound, just the sound of 10 shares as opposed to the sound of 1 share. Like Mommy Trader said, she got 4 shares. She about to have 40 shares. Feels better. There's a psychological boost to having 40 shares as opposed to having 4 shares, right? Even if the total value is the same, right? It just feels like you have a larger stake in the company. Remember, that's smoke and mirrors. You don't have a larger stake in the company. It just feels like it. That, after the fact, could lead to a short-term boost because guess what happens? You go from having 4 shares to 40. Now, man, it ain't nothing just to go out and buy another couple of shares for 240 bucks. Let me go ahead and grab a couple more shares, right? Again, raising the stock price after the split. So, I'm giving you things to think about as you make your decision to buy, to hold, to dollar cost average, or to not buy, or to just keep it in your ETF or your index fund, right? But there's a perception of a benefit from a split. The perception. So, historically, guys, stock prices can perform good, they can perform bad after a split. I don't wanna necessarily give a precedence here on what I think will happen after the split because I just know, I'm pretty sure that because of the industries and the revenue and the earnings report of Nvidia, I'm pretty sure it's gonna continue to go up for the near future. I do see that. But I can't tell you if it's gonna go up or down before or after the split. Nvidia is a long play, right? And I do own a few shares of Nvidia. It's a long play. Now, I'm usually an ETF, an index fund guy, but I do have 10 stocks, 20 stocks, or something like that. I have a few individual stocks that I like to play with here and there, but 98% of my portfolio is not in individual stocks, right? Single stocks. But I don't wanna sit up here and pretend like I know what's gonna happen before or after the split. I just know what typically happens, and guess what? We don't have really a precedence for a firm in this industry at this time. So there's no real precedence for what's gonna happen with an AI heavy company right now in 2024, 2025, 2026. There's no precedence. So what happened with Walmart when they split, and what happened with Broadcom last time they split, or what happened with App, listen, we don't know. We just don't know. Future performance is no indication. I'm sorry, past performance is no indication of future performance, right? Just some considerations for your decision to buy now or buy after the split, or to stick with your technology in the ETFs. Let me get a show of hands, guys. Do me a small favor. In the chat, let me scroll so I'm caught up. In the chat, please let me know if you're going to buy now or if you're going to buy after the split, or if you're not going to buy Nvidia at all, or if you're going to dollar cost average into it as you have been doing, no big deal, or are you just going to keep buying your ETFs and index funds and that's it, and you own it in there. Let me know which one you're going to do, and if you can, tell me why. Why? Somebody said the future is technology. Namisha, you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. Let's see here. Nene said, "Will Smith, that's me, but I bought a portion of Nvidia. 2 years, my Nvidia stock is up 99.44%. That's ridiculous in 2 years." Let's see here. After, said Glamour House. I made money on Nvidia already. You could listen, if you bought Nvidia 5 days ago, you already made money, right? A nice sum of money. Chase said afterwards. See, I'm enjoying the live at the current time. Hey, good to have you, Christian. Thank you so much. I kind of like it at this time too, a little more settled in. I appreciate that. Buy now, said Les. Why? Mrs. Moore is in the house. Good to have you, Mrs. Moore. I'm still looking for. I responded to your email, by the way. Mrs. Moore said buy after. Rebecca said buy after. Interesting. Myra said buy both. I ain't mad at you, Myra. Buy both. I'm Anthony TV said after. Jason said I'm just going to hold with my 25 shares and chill. Dollar cost average is saying stoic. Of course, his name or her name is staying stoic. Of course, they're just going to dollar cost average into it because of the name, right? Somebody said, G said, I'm not going to buy, but I'm going to be spectating. G, you sure you don't want to buy G? Check out your investment portfolio. Hey, you don't have to, but I like that, G. That's nothing wrong with that. Stick to your principles. Stay on fire ministry said buy now and just get in. Memories in action said both. I'm not mad at you there. Maybe both. True, Rebecca. Political said both. Dizzy, I'm going to buy. I just don't know when. I don't like the hype around it right now. Drizzy, get ready. It's only just beginning. It's hype today, but it's only just beginning. There'll be more hype in the next couple of weeks. Wilbur said after. Jason said buy some now, some later, long term. Absolutely. 25 shares at 100. I bought 25 shares at $125. Jason is about to be at 250 shares. Am I saying that right? 250 shares at $1,000 or a little over 1,000. Jason, congratulations to you. That was a good play on your part a while back. I have a few shares of Nvidia and just going to steadily put money in it. Dollar cost average. Lily said after. Aaron said continue to dollar cost average. Somebody said I bought at $20. My goodness. Let me give you a virtual hug there. Congratulations. Let's see. Yeah, you gotta get the likes up, guys. Get those likes, and I don't say it much. Thank you, Mrs. Moore, for pointing that out. Hit the like button for me, guys. and share this link with somebody that you know who's looking to maybe invest in Nvidia or don't understand what a stock split is and just needs to hear this conversation to kinda help them understand and learn a little bit, please share the information with them as well. Somebody said before and after, buy now because it went up 5% today. That's crazy. After the hype will cool down, small pullback is coming. Absolutely, DJ. Absolutely. Stock market does like this, guys. All the stocks. But ultimately, Nvidia is doing like this. Right, it's going way up. Somebody said I bought 1 share today, this morning at 1,109 bucks, and you already made money. Look at that. It's closed at 11:40. I wonder why buy now anyone. Chase, um, that's a good question. Why buy now? There's a lot of reasons. People wanna get in. Listen, here's one of the reasons to help you out there, Chase. One of the reasons is people see a continual upswing in the AI technology that NVIDIA is the world leader in. People see an upside to that. So, what many people are saying while they're buying right now is, "I'm gonna buy it at $1,109 or $1,140 because next week it'll be 1,240. And then once it splits, it'll split, but I wanna go ahead and get it today because it's only going up." So, that's kinda one of the main reasons people are just saying, "Hey, I'll just buy now because it's on the upswing." Hey, $200 in 6 days. It went up $200 in 6 days. That's probably the big reason why people are saying, "Let's just go ahead and buy now," right? Hope that makes sense. Somebody said buy after the split. If a lot of people are buying after, then price is sure to increase. Absolutely. If I just did an informal poll, half the people said I'm buying after. So if half the people are buying after, guess what's going to happen to the stock when let's say it's at $1,200 when they do the split, goes down to 120 per share. 120 per share, everybody's buying after, that's going to push the stock price up. That's another reason people are buying right now because they know a lot of people are gonna buy after, so I might as well get it at its least expensive price right now, alright? Somebody said, "I bought now because I see it continue to go up." Absolutely, just like I said, X Music said that. Yeah, I agree, a small pullback is guaranteed, right? Um, and I don't think NVIDIA's earnings next quarter are gonna be as outstanding as they were this quarter, but they're still gonna be great, I believe. Somebody said it's been hyped for 6 months. It's been hyped for really about 2 years. In I first heard about it about 2 or 3 years ago. Um, Somebody said, "Is this a long term?" Yeah, NVIDIA for me is a long play. If I was an options guy, I'd be trying to use it to cover calls and things like that, right? Please hit that like button, Just Mamba, thank you for saying that. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. I really would appreciate it. Talking about investing, talking about breaking news. Nvidia stock keeps going up and up and up. Things for you to consider in your decision to buy now or buy later, right? Or stick with your technology ETF is current market trends. What's happening in the current market right now? Overall market and the industry that NVIDIA is in. How are similar stocks to NVIDIA behaving right now, right? Um, look at the company, look at NVIDIA fundamentals. That's their profit loss statement, 10Q, 10K, balance sheet, right? All these things, industries, customers. I mean, they are one of the leading suppliers of AI to some of the largest companies in the world. Not some of the largest companies in the world. And as the supplier for the next wave of the internet that's coming, I mean, you all there's never a guarantee in any stocks. There's always risk. But it's been looking good. I first got a hold to it at about $400 per share, and it's done nothing but go up. A stock split doesn't change anything. Be sure we understand that. The value doesn't change anything. But these fundamentals of NVIDIA are crazy, off the chart, off the chisel. Is that what they say nowadays? No, they say it's dope or off the chisel. I don't know what they say. I'm not hip, guys. I'm really not hip at all. So You gotta make the decision also based on your own fundamentals, not just the fundamentals of the company, right? But your own basic fundamental goals in terms of your own investing goals, right? Some of you stay true, which is good. Stay true to your the ETF and index fund investing. I like it. If you own VTSAX, is it yeah, VTSAX or VOO and Vanguard, if you own those, you already own Nvidia. You got it, right? And then the other thing you got to think about is, do you understand Nvidia's business model? Do you understand what they offer, what they sell? Do you understand, all the data centers, semiconductor, all the things that they're selling to these other people? Do you understand Nvidia's position in the AI space? And if you are invested in Nvidia, which I think most of you are, go and do your research. Don't invest another penny without looking at understanding what they're doing. So you understand the business, you understand the stock, you understand, how they make money, how they disseminate money, how they utilize what are their profit margins, all you need to understand who is the CEO. By the way, the CEO for NVIDIA has been the CEO. He's the founder and CEO 30 years ago, 32 years ago. Same and the beauty of one of the things I think is the beauty of NVIDIA is they're not new. They're not a brand new startup that started in 2020, right? They've been around for a long time. They've changed and shifted their business model to put them in place to actually be the leader in AI. But that's a positive to me that they've been around for a long, long time, long, 30 years. But you have to make sure you understand what you're investing your money in. There's no definitive answer, guys, as to whether or not it's better to invest before or after the stock split. There's really no infinitive answer, right? Let me see what we got here in the chat. I'm thinking if you already own a share or shares, buy after the split. Those that can't afford a share now will definitely be able to afford after the split. Okay. Buy now or regret later, said Chi or Chewy. Facts. Let's see. What is your source to find out that it's up $20 after hours? We got some folks that are talking after hours. Robinhood. Look at aftermarket. Okay, reinvesting my RSUs plus bonus after the split. Somebody said I bought today. I'm going to buy again, regardless if it drops or not after the split. I believe the company long term AI is the future. Is this the first split? I think no. This is the second. I think it's the second split for maybe the second or third split for Nvidia. Let's see. It's on Robinhood after hours charts. Okay, I haven't checked that. I retire in 2035. Nvidia is predicted to be 6,100 by then. Woo! 6,100 even with the stock split. Interesting. And maybe another stock split before that. Yeah, I've seen some estimates that were way up there. Somebody said, "You guys need to just shut up and get it before it's too late." After hours, 11:50. It's 11:50 at 11:57 after hours. I did so it's gonna probably start tomorrow up. Would you consider AMD? Listen, I think that all of us as wise investors, and that's what we talk about being on this channel, as being a wise investor, wise consumer, wise money manager, etc. All of us should always look at a stock like Nvidia and look at its competitors, look at its suppliers, look at its customers, and look at its industry and begin to project a little bit in terms of, are there other competitors to Nvidia who are going to be having a boost because of AI? It would be like looking at, Microsoft in the year 2003, looking at Microsoft in 2003 and saying, "Who are the competitors to Microsoft?" or looking at Apple. Who are Apple's competitors? Yes, you should be looking at competition. You should be looking at some of the others that are in the spaces that Nvidia is doing, that is in. Because at some point, maybe next year, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, Nvidia will have a competitor. Whoever that competitor is of Nvidia in 10 years, they're either not a company right now, or they are a company and their stock is selling at $100, or their stock is selling at $80. They're out there today. Part of the research is figuring out who that is when you wanna do this individual single stock investing, right? Somebody says, "We'll buy my" okay, yes, after hours up to 11:60. I was in Antarctica for 3 weeks. The government is working on an aircraft driven by AI. NVIDIA GPUs are being used. NVIDIA's all over the place, and here's why. AI is everywhere, guys. AI is in this chat. AI is on your computer. AI is in your phone. AI is on your TV. AI is in every social media platform you use. AI is all over the place. Again, it's the new internet. It's changing things left and right. This is the beginning, right? It would be like getting in on the internet in 1998, 1999. That's my opinion, just an opinion, right? Somebody said, yeah, let's see here. What's the highest amount of a single stock? Single stocks can go up pretty high. But here's the deal. If you anticipate a significant rise in the stock price leading up to the split, invest in Nvidia right now. If you prefer buying at a lower price per share and potentially benefiting from increased post-split demand, invest after the split. The decision has to align with your own personal investment strategy and your risk tolerance and the market analysis and your projections based on your research of the company, right? And listen, I mentioned that stock splits happen all the time, guys. So I want to share my screen with you if I can get it up. Let's see if the screen. Okay, there it's coming up. Nope, nope, not that one. Let's go to this one. Can't get that one up. Let's go to this one right here. Boom. All right. So let's go to my screen. I want to show you some other stock splits, just for the fun of it, just to show you some others. We know there's Nvidia out there destroying the game. Nvidia is destroying the game. Some other stock splits, new stock splits to track. Here's a few others to think about, guys, coming up. As investors, I want to give you the big picture. So you understand what's happening with Nvidia, but there's other companies that are doing stock splits soon as well, such as Cintas Corporation, office or business supplies, uniforms, protective gear, and all that. They make the mats and all that stuff, and they got some first aid stuff. Cintas, Cintas. They've got a 4-for-1 stock split coming up in September of this year. As I mentioned, there's Chipotle, one of the few restaurant chains to thrive after the pandemic. Oh, everybody's at Chipotle, right? You might go get Chipotle tonight. The casual chain, I'm just reading it, that sells tacos and burritos plans to split for its first stock split in its 30-year history. Chipotle is coming up perhaps at the end of June if it's agreed to by the shareholders, a 50-for-1 split, which I mentioned earlier. Remember, Chipotle is trading today. I'm sure some of you guys have looked it up, but Chipotle is trading right now at $3,153.84. That's why they're gonna split into 50, and the stock price is gonna go down to $75 per share, right? Coming up shortly. But listen, how many of you all would go out and buy a share of Chipotle for $3,100? Probably nobody or very few people. But how many of you would go buy a share of Chipotle at $80? Most of you. You see how although it doesn't change anything in terms of what you own or the value of the company, it changes your psychology. And that's the whole one of the whole main purposes of a stock split. right? It goes on to give you a United States Lime and Minerals is doing a 5-for-1 stock split in July. Ibara, the Japanese maker of industrial equipment, pumps, chillers, fans, compressors, etc., they're doing a stock split July 1st. Then, of course, you have Booking Holdings at $3,792 per share. They run Booking.com. I'm sure you guys heard of Booking.com. They have those commercials. Priceline and Open Table. It's the fourth most expensive stock on the NASDAQ, and they have a stock split coming up. It hasn't revealed a stock split, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have one soon. They could they could have one very soon because they're so expensive, right? So, I just wanna share with you guys the fact that there's other companies that are doing some of these stock splits, right? Here's your key. Let me give you this because I always wanna make sure I get this out when we're having this conversation about individual stocks or single stocks or even ETFs, whatever. Have a plan. Don't get caught up in the exuberance that you see right now, the irrational exuberance, right, that we see everybody in a frenzy about NVIDIA. Stay with your plan. Hopefully in your plan, if if you see NVIDIA doing well, you know the AI is gonna do well, hopefully somewhere you've worked in your plan where you own something that will, give you that boost, whether it's an ETF that includes NVIDIA or if it's the actual share of a share or 2 or 10 or whatever of the stock itself. Be consistent. Remember, investing is a long-term play. Don't forget to invest in things that you understand. And if you don't understand NVIDIA, go understand it. It may take you 2 days of research, it may take you a day, it may take you a month, but try to understand it before you actually invest in it. And also risk what you can afford to lose. Don't put all your money in one stock, guys. Please diversify. I know we're talking about NVIDIA, people are hyping it up. Please don't take $100,000 of your last money, pull it out of somewhere else, and go put it all on one. That would be like going to a casino and betting on black and putting all your money on black, everything you own on black, right? Don't do it. Diversification is the key. And don't panic. Don't you don't have to get all into this rigmarole that's going on about NVIDIA. Great company, huge gains, invest before, invest after. You make the decision, okay? Somebody said the gaming industry is also growing rapidly, and they are at the forefront of that as well. They're doing everything. Listen, NVIDIA is supplying a lot of the AI technology that's going into gaming. That's that's one of the beauties of what they're doing. They're in spaces that are growing out of this world, right? Let's see the game. Okay, somebody said another company floating out there while we're working on Warcrafts was Palantir, right? Somebody said, both before or after. Somebody said, I think investing before the split is a free roll of the dice if you're already going to buy post-split. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, Microsoft is doing well too. Again, NVIDIA is the supplier to most of to all of your Mag 7s that are technology. Somebody said Catherine said, "What if you have NVIDIA in an index fund, do you recommend also purchasing one share of the individual?" Not necessarily, Catherine. That's gonna be your choice. No, not necessarily. I don't necessarily say that's the right thing to do. I think you gotta make a decision. If you want to own it, do your research, understand the company and what they do, and then you can purchase a share or 2 or 3, but please don't make that the bulk of your money in the company. But if you already own NVIDIA because you own the S&P 500 and NVIDIA is a big part of it, don't trip. You don't have to trip. You can just watch your investments go up, right? But that's I mentioned on my last live or 2 lives ago that a lot of people don't like ETFs or index funds because they can't see big wins. Because index funds and ETFs are designed to mirror the group of the stocks that are in the bucket. Just mirror it, right? So if all the stocks go up a little bit, your index fund goes up a little bit. All the stocks in your ETF go down a little bit, well, it goes down a little bit. But you never have these wide swings of an ETF like you do with individual stocks that do well. But conversely, you never have these wide go downs with an ETF as well. So an ETF, because your money is spread out into so many different buckets of stocks, so many different stocks in the bucket, you don't see these large swings with ETFs. But it also means you don't get a chance to win, get these big wins like you do with an individual stock. So you have to weigh. This is why investing is a personal thing. You gotta weigh what's best for you, right? Somebody said that means Nvidia soars for the next 10 years. Perhaps. Listen, if you don't invest in Nvidia as an individual stock and when they do the stock split, it goes to 120. If Nvidia is up to 500 bucks in the next 2 or 3 years per share, you're gonna be angry. But if Nvidia goes down after the stock split, and anything can send it down, let's just keep it real. There could be some major problem with a major piece of equipment from Nvidia, and it could go down. It could go down in 2 weeks from now. We don't know what's gonna happen. All the signs based on how the company is run and the industries it's in, all the signs say growth, 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 growth over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? That's what the signs say. But it doesn't mean it's gonna always happen like that, right? The signs were pointing that way for Tesla for a lot of folks too. But the beauty of Tesla slash Elon Musk is that Elon Musk knows how to do what the CEO of NVIDIA is doing. He knows how to be involved in a lot of different industries and not put all his chips in one place. He knows how okay, yes, Elon Musk, has a large share of the EV batteries, right? EV batteries and so forth. But he also understands AI's role in the next 5 to 10 or 15 years. So the car operations may go down, which we see that it has gone down. But there may be another area of of Tesla that is gonna be on the come up based on AI. Of course, as we just talked about a half hour ago, what is it, XAI? What is the name of the company that announced a $6 billion worth of crowdfunding, Elon Musk's company he started last July? So these are players that understand being diverse in AI and not only being an AI company that supplies one thing, but being an AI and playing a role in very AI, right? Looks like we're still on. I had a bleep in my camera there. All right, so that's what we're talking about. Nvidia stock keeps going up and up and up and up, and the choice is yours to buy now, buy later. Hold where you are, or just hold it in an ETF or index fund. Somebody says, "I work in data analytics, and we use AI every day for pretty much everything. It makes the job a lot easier. It's gonna get easier and easier and easier, just Mamba." Glad you make that comment. That's an excellent comment. AutoZone, the only stock I know that's over 2,500 not doing a stock split. Kathy said last stock split for, I guess, NVIDIA was July of, 2021, where they split up and did a 4 for 1 or something like that, 3 for 1. Amazon was a little over 3,000 a share before it split, right? Let's see here. I'm keeping an eye on AMD. Absolutely. Let's see here, IG. Guys, do me a favor. You gotta hit the thumbs up button for me. Smash the like button, share the link to the video. Also in the description box below, I have some free stuff. Go over to the description box and check it out, please. Check out the free stuff that's in the description box as well if you can. I really, 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 really would appreciate you guys doing that for me. Thank you so much for doing it. Don't forget, I partnered on this video with Mint Mobile. Got a link for them in the chat in the description box below. And also, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please feel free to become a subscriber to the channel. We talk investing, we talk growing money, managing money, personal finance, real estate from time to time. We talk about things to help regular average, everyday people be extraordinary with their money. Ordinary people being extraordinary with their money. That's what we try to do. And we try to do it in plain language. So it's understandable because I know we have a lot of new investors out there and people that are new to this whole money space, new to the idea of even managing their money, new to a budget, right? New to all these things. And so I just try to make things as plain as possible for everybody. AMD is a stock you definitely want to look at. Get those likes up. Thank you so much. Mrs. Moore's in the house. I just like saying Mrs. Moore. Let's see. SMCI's customer is NVIDIA 2. Hey, newbie, Mari York, how you doing? Glad to have you here. If jobs data turns out less than expected on Wednesday, everything will skyrocket. Oh, keep in mind, tomorrow, core PCE comes out. Is it tomorrow or Friday? Maybe it's Friday. PCE comes out, right? Core PCE is the inflation reading that the Fed uses even more strongly than CPI. So that comes out, and then I think somebody said, we have jobs coming out. All those things are gonna make a difference in the market. They may not make a big difference to NVIDIA, though. NVIDIA has been they don't care about all that stuff. They're just growing and growing and growing, right? Let's see here, stop loss. Let's see. The weighting of the stocks is very important when buying ETFs because one stock is overweight. Absolutely. The weighting is super important. CP, thanks for saying. I'm pulling the trigger, and I'm buying shares of NVIDIA tomorrow on my Robinhood. Congratulations to you, Regenerative. Thanks for sharing that. I just bought more today. Should I take out a small personal loan with my credit union for around 5K, 36 months to pay it off? No, no, I wouldn't take out any loans. I hope you're not saying take out a loan to invest. I would say don't do that. If that's what you're talking about, desensitized lemons, interesting name. Sounds should I take out a small personal loan with my credit union for around 5K? No, not to invest, not at all. No, I wouldn't take out a loan anyway. I don't do loans. We are anti-loan on this channel unless it's for an appreciating item, unless it's for something going up in value. Otherwise, no loans. I think Tesla will be involved with NVIDIA in future watch. Should be. Good point. Hey, Jerry, thanks so much for the super chat, Jerry. I really, really appreciate it, and thanks for your support. Said, "Thanks, Smart Money Bro. Big Island, Hawaii here near East Side. Hilo, you were asking the last Hilo is a city. Okay, you're asking. Yes, I sure did, Jerry. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you for the super chat again, Jerry. I appreciate it. I bought more today. We got some folks buying. Then we got a lot of folks that said we're buying after. Checking in right here from KC, Brad. Good to have you in here, Brad. Thanks for showing up and thanks for your support. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And by the way, Brad and everybody else in the chat, hit the thumbs up button for me. I really would appreciate it. I think it would be wise to buy or sell stocks after Wednesday, especially for beginners. Listen, beginners, if you're a beginner investor, know what you're doing, know what you're investing in before you go ahead and invest in um, Nvidia. Nvidia. Thank you so much, Myra. Appreciate you. Thank you, Mommy Trader, for the thumbs up. Oh no, I'm just getting here. What did I miss? Tab, Nebraska. Roll back to the beginning. We hit this thing hard. Should we not be investing? I gave you a whole bunch of things to think about it. Somebody said I love Mint Mobile. Thanks so much. Because I did it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, now I don't want to make this a long one. 1 hour is about enough. It's 7 o'clock at night. Everybody's getting ready for school in the morning or school or work or what have you. I really just want to say, guys, be very, very careful with your investment decisions. Okay. Again, make sure it fits in line with what you're doing. Don't panic. Be consistent. Invest for the long haul. Don't try to time it. Jump in, jump out. No, don't do that. Dollar cost average if you want. Keep NVIDIA in your ETF or index fund if you want. Invest in it as a single stock if you're and you know it, you understand it, you've read their financials, and you understand what their growth, understand their pain points, understand what they're doing good and right, and you feel good about. You can go to the website, NVIDIA website, and you can hear the press releases, and not just press releases, but you can hear the address from the CEO to the shareholders. I mean, do it right if you're going to invest in a single stock. There's nothing wrong with investing in single stocks. You just gotta diversify, and you gotta do it the right way. Just don't take it from me in this hour-long conversation and then say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go buy because of what I heard Smart Money Bro say." No. You go buy because of what you read and what you understand and what you, have come to know and learn about the industry, about the company, about the CEO, about the direction the company's going. Please just don't read an article and go buy, and then it goes up and you get lucky and you think that's the right way to invest. It's not. Do your research. Please do your research. Uh, alright, so with that, Imma let you guys get out of here. Don't most somebody said, "Don't most stocks drop after a split?" As I said earlier, sometimes you will see a slight drop, a pullback after a split before it goes back up and continues to go up. So you're right, Jay. Sometime Jay Corleone. Jay Corleone? Are were you in Scar Jay Corleone? I like that name. But listen, yes, you'll see a slight pullback. Don't let that deter you, but listen, if you're getting in after the fact, perhaps that slight pullback after the split is your buying opportunity, right? Just something to think about, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Namisha, thank you. Smart girl in New York City. Thank you. Sunset on the ocean. Beautiful name. Sunset on the ocean. Catherine, thank you so much for being here. Tab, Nebraska, tempted to buy Tesla and Nvidia. But individual stocks scare me. I understand. I listen to Dave Ramsey with mutual funds. I'm not a mutual fund guy. Well, index funds are mutual funds. Index funds are a type of mutual fund that I like better than regular mutual funds, right? Thank you, Tab, Nebraska. Mike Ventura, good to have you. Godfather. There you go, Mike. The name Corleone. Let's see. I never saw The Godfather, guys. I've never seen that movie in my JT Coin Rings checked in at the end. Good to have you. Member for 7 months. I'm glad you're here. You've been rocking with this channel for a few years, man. Awesome information. Appreciate your support, JT. Buy the book. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Chase, appreciate you. Kelvin, appreciate you. Your choice, Kelvin, on should you wait till after the split or buy now. I want you, Kelvin, to rewind this video, listen to the pros and cons, and see what works best for you and what you're anticipating. I wanted to do a long one, not a long one. I want to do an hour long on this because when I checked the internet today, YouTube, I checked YouTube. There's only one other place doing an hour-long talk about this stock and about what a stock split is today. Only one other. And I said, "You know what? This is something my listeners need to know." I think I have a lot of near beginner investors that follow me or that are subscribed to the channel and watch the videos. So I wanted to bring this to you guys as sort of a common sense approach to what you do when you see a stock split. What is a stock split? Why a stock split? How should you handle a stock split? Things you got to think about before the stock split and after the stock split to make your own decision about what to do. And that way, it can take some of the mystery out of whether or not you should invest before or after, right? So I really appreciate you guys. I also appreciate the fact that in the chat, we got folks helping and talking to other people in the chat. That's really important, and I really appreciate that, guys, more than you know, because that's what it's all about. People helping people, right? Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, and please drop a comment. I try to answer these comments on these lives that come in the comments. So please drop that for me. And as I always say, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, take good care of yourself and also take care of other people. And let me know in that chat what you plan to do before the split, after the split, dollar cost average, or not even worry about it and keep it in your ETFs or in your index. Until the next video, peace.